In the world of animal conservation, the Indianapolis Prize is considered the gold standard. Biennially, the Indianapolis Zoo awards one of the world's leading conservationists with $250,000. The prize recognizes heroic and accomplished scientists who have made major contributions to saving wild things and wild places. Among its best-known supporters are Sigourney Weaver and Harrison Ford.
These are heroes.
The winner of the 2020 prize is Dr. Amanda Vincent. In the words of a nominating committee member, these individuals are not just accomplished and impressive, they are heroic. We should celebrate them and answer their call to action. Pet Pals TV is proud to feature reports on this year's 6 finalists. John Robinson's love of the outdoors started when he was a kid.
I think one of the things that we did as a family was we spent a lot of time outdoors. So we were going into forests, we were spending time climbing the mountains, and getting involved in nature actually was a real family tradition.
Today, John is Vice President of Conservation and Science for the World Conservation Society, an organization that saves wildlife and wild places worldwide.
Certainly through the course of my career, I've seen how conservation has changed from initially a focus on wild species and trying to understand what the needs of those wild species are. Those berries are very full of energy. Even as you understand those needs, what you need to do is protect them, and then shifting away from studying the wild species per se, much more into focusing on how do we protect them, how do you establish parks, how do you manage parks.
John believes part of the solution involves ecotourism.
So ecotourism, I think, is very important for local communities because it brings in funding from the outside. You can look at a TV documentary and you can get a sense of nature and a sense of wildlife. But there's nothing quite as compelling as actually seeing it yourself. And so ecotourism just becomes a way to connect people around the world to the places that we want to conserve.
He also believes recognizing the effects of climate change is crucial.
I think global climate change is one of the great challenges that we're facing. At the same time, it also is very real to people. Whether you believe in climate change or not, everyone recognizes that we need to adapt to the changing climate. I'm a conservationist because I do love nature and I do love those wild species. But also conservation is critically important if we're going to manage climate change in an effective way. You know, I think the Indianapolis Prize is probably the most prestigious prize in what a lot of us think is the core of conservation, which is protecting wild species and nature.
Pet Pals TV is proud to join the Indianapolis Zoo in saluting John and the other finalists for this year's Indianapolis Prize. For Pet Pals TV, I'm Steve Sweitzer.